everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, back to you from downtown Manila with another famous 15 minutes of fame with an awesome guest. He's been around. He's like a gypsy. He's like a bit like me. He goes all over the place, and he spent a lot of time in Australia. Interesting enough, which I left myself 13 years ago, never to return. I'm having too good a time. But guys, if you think I'm in a beauty contest, I got my sash on. That's not the case. I broke my shoulder a couple of days ago, and I got my arm in a sling. But no excuses. The show goes on, and it's my great pleasure today to welcome. Now I'm going to muck this up. I know. God, you've got to help me. Endre Hoffman, and Endre is a doctor of self-worth. It's got a very interesting story, this gentleman. And guys, I want you to reach out to this gentleman. Cost you nothing to have a virtual cup of coffee. Reach out, find out what he knows, and see if you can help each other, right? It's not one-way traffic, guys. It can go both ways. His business company name is Doctor of Self-Worth, was pretty much self-explanatory. Personal development and coaching. He's been in the industry for a long time, some 7+ years. I'm looking at my Apple iPhone here. Brief description of his business. I can share about my 34-year journey of slow transformation, and the journey is slow, guys. Learn from the journey from a dysfunctional father and son relationship. I love that one. I know all about that one. Spending $100K that did not help me to break through my self-worth challenges to finally becoming a doctor of self-worth. I help plant the seeds to change my audiences with stories and examples, and some are about my children. Key achievements and projects. Current podcasts I've been involved with is the Heroes podcast. That sounds good. From zero to hero. I like that. Features inspiring stories of transformation from individuals who've overcome self-doubt, adversity to unlock their true potential. And guys, you've all got a story. You've all got potential. You just got to unlock it. Don't listen to anyone. Listen to your gut. It's your second brain. From diverse backgrounds who have faced significant challenges, rebuilt their confidence, created meaningful lives and businesses that serve others. That's an awesome adventure. Through personal journeys of resilience and growth, right? And I'll jump a little bit of that. There's wisdom and gold to be found in their words and experiences, and they certainly are. We've helped over 200 solo mums in Rwanda to take charge of their lives emotionally and mentally, and also provide business strategies. Personal motto or philosophy: you'll never outform your philosophy or skill level as a business leader. Interesting fact about himself: he's an adventurous man. He loves paragliding pilot. We do not jump. The glider lifts him off the ground. So there's more to come. So it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage. Oh, I'm getting cross now. Endre, how are you, my friend?
Thanks. And thanks for having me, Jeff. I think we will have a chat in the future as well when I come back again to travel around the North Island in the Philippines, where I took my family around a few years back.
You've been to the Philippines, have you?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, cool, fantastic. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I loved it.
And they say it's more fun in the Philippines. You know, don't believe what you read. Years ago, I came when I was 30, which is some 47 years ago, and they told me back in Australia, oh, you'll be in trouble, you can't drink the water, that there's no bread, all these, I came over here, I had some of the best Italian meals I've ever had in my life, and there was plenty of water. Common sense, you don't drink water out of the river, you buy bottled water, simple stuff, as you should anywhere, by the way, that way you know where it comes from, allegedly. All right, let's get started. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path. Where did it all begin?
Well, most of my life I felt worthless, and it was coming from a dysfunctional. As you said, my dad was not connecting me to myself or my love, right, or who I am or how I do. I never felt good enough. So the constant criticism has done its toll. So yeah, basically every area of my life started to reflect back this feeling of not good enough, in doubts, insecurities. What I'm doing here, how could I even have something with my life or make it worthwhile? So yeah, and when my dad wasn't around, because I fled to New Zealand as far as possible from Europe, where my dad lived.
Yeah.
had the whip to.
How old were you then?
I was at age, I think 28, 29.
28.
But
Okay,
before
good.
that, I lived in
Wow.
Ireland. So then came 7 years in New Zealand
Yeah.
and 12 years in Australia. And in between, I was running a business back in Europe. But then again, my dad was too close. So I had to run away again. That was my strategy, but it didn't work. And I was searching something that works. So I've done personal development books in the hundreds and Tony Robbins events and John D. Martini, Brian Tracy, and I spent a lot of money on things that
Sure.
did not work for me
Yeah,
because
you're trying to find yourself with self-development, right?
I guess I needed someone to confront me with
Yeah.
what's going on, the inner.
Unbeknown to you, though, even though you say the 100,000 might have been wasted, it probably wasn't wasted. You probably picked up it's in the back of your mind. You pick up a little bit from the parts you want to pick up. You pick up a little bit from each one, and then you make your own journey, which you've done.
Absolutely, but I have to say things have not changed until I found, I have to say, a mindset coach who has shifted the whole story around this 30-year struggle of
Yes.
looking for gurus on 5 continents and traveling to 70 countries and hoping that someone will tell me what's wrong with me. The question was wrong in the first place.
Yeah, right. I love it.
And that's what happens in childhood. If you're listening to us and you had cases that keeps recurring in your life, probably something has happened early on.
Yeah, well, you're a bit unlucky. I had a motivational speaker, guys. You've heard of Tony Robbins, etc. I had a motivational speaker when I was 6, and what my motivational speaker every day I got. By the way, I had one. How lucky is that? He'd come into the bathroom after I'd had a shower, and he'd comb my hair before school, and he would tell me every morning I got my motivational talk. Shit, you're an ugly kid, and I went, oh wow, I feel great. I feel great. And then I'd go to school, I had glasses, they'd mess me up for being 4 eyes or goggle eyes, something like that, right? Or frog eyes. So what I did after the motivational talk, I'd go out of the house. The first telegraph pole had all grass around it. I'd hide my glasses in the grass and go off to school so I didn't get bashed up anymore because I didn't have glasses. But being a tall kid, they put me in the back of the class and I couldn't see the blackboard properly, so I couldn't answer the questions. So I was known as the dumb kid. So I've been on your journey, my friend.
It's unbelievable because my mom did not buy me any more glasses because they all were crashed in fights. And I ended up probably in grade 3 or 4. They said this kid cannot see. And my mom had given up on, getting glasses for me. And I ended up in the first row. Same reason.
Yeah, there you go. See what I'm saying, guys? We've all got it. And guys, that's why 15 Minutes of Fame and also Andre's podcast, it's you can tell your story. And we've all got a story, every one of us. It's never, the journey's not easy, guys. It's full of twists and turns. But you just got to go with the flow, right? Tell me, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work and how have you overcome that?
But it was this mindset aspect. This I would always call this, I think it was a mind virus, like not knowing my true value. And when you do not value yourself, then, well, what you will see is no one else will see you, no one else will hear you and appreciate you. And if it comes to business, if with those things you want to build a business, you are looking for trouble. And I have driven 3 businesses into the ground with that mindset that I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. It's not working for me. I'm unlucky. And these are just a few of these. I have to work hard for money. I inherited that from grandma and grandpa. So unfortunately, until those programs are running your life and results, well, I think you need an adjustment and get it ASAP. So you're not repeating the old results.
Okay. Tell me where you were. What's an important moment in your career that pretty much changed your direction? When did you flip the coin?
When I was working in Sydney 6 days a week, driving trucks to make enough money for my wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
My life was collapsing. My wife asked me one morning, is it time for us to divorce? And I knew things didn't go well. But we got to the stage where I was always working at nights, and that week I fell asleep twice on the motorway, and I woke up in the emergency lane twice. Big truck. I was driving B doubles from the port up to
Oh my goodness.
yeah, so it was serious.
So just trying to make an honest living, huh?
I was trying to do my best,
Just try and
working.
do your best for your family. This is where men suffer. By the way, I interrupt you for a minute. This is where men suffer, guys. You go out and you try and make the money to buy the nice house, to buy the car, to put your kids through good schools, etc., etc. At what price? When you go to work, sometimes your kids are in bed. When you come home, your wife's put them back to bed. You might even see your kids. Now, fast forward 10, 15 years later, you're getting divorced. The kids don't like you anymore. Your ex-wife doesn't like you anymore. And where does that leave you? You're 50 and lost, right? So that's part of a journey for a lot of people.
Yeah, the turning point was when, again, that 5-10 minutes connection time, which all I had for my kids, because I was running a home that didn't make money from home when I was at home. Then again, I allowed my kids to slap me in the face if I fell asleep when I was reading out these bedtime stories. Again, it turned out to be a slapping competition. And obviously, it was fun for them, 2 years old and 5 years old. But honestly, inside,
Go ahead.
I said, I have failed. And the worst was that I failed exactly like my dad, who has never been at home, who's never been emotionally present.
Yeah, you follow the same roadmap.
So yeah, I said that it's done. I don't know what it takes. I don't know who I need to look for, but if I don't change this, then obviously I am creating another generation of these victims.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's interesting that your wife's a good communicator. That was interesting that she at least she sat you down and discussed it. A lot of people don't discuss it. They just go their own direction. Next thing you know, you'll come home, the house is empty. Well,
I'm lucky.
You're fortunate to get another chance.
And she said, really think through it and come back to me. I said, I was thinking, and it took me 3 days. I said, well, I was thinking, and I said, well, I do believe we deserve a better life. We deserve a life. We deserve free time. We deserve to travel. So if you divorce me now, I will accept it. But I will keep going on this journey until I drop that to find myself first, to find
discovery. Yep.
To make my life meaningful. So it was a really hard decision, and I thought I will literally become a weekend dad.
Yeah, well, the good thing she supported you. That's the great thing about all that. And it's nice that we all need a cheer squad, guys. All of us need a cheer squad. It's pretty hard cheering for yourself, right? Tell me, in your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that along the way that have finally contributed to your success?
But for me, I was an action taker, Jeff. Like I was constantly doing something,
looking.
and I didn't stop. So, but this didn't change much. So I would say, if you are in a place where you are constantly doing your best, you're working around the clock, and things are not shifting, not moving, you're not getting new results, and I have to say there is something that's playing out, and that could be your programming, your conditioning, and unless you find the keys, you will repeat the old results, and that's usually trouble going through the same over and over again. And you know what? Bad enough. Let's have a chat, because you deserve more. You deserve better. Please do not spend decades like myself at the age of 42 in repetition mode, because it sucks.
Yeah, that's right. And it's all your limited beliefs, guys, from when you're younger. You'd like say you're not good enough, and like even your friends, hey, come back here. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be successful. Come back here. You're making us look bad. Just get on with your journey. And the other thing, guys, don't just trust your brain, trust your gut. Your gut is your second brain. You'll learn that as you get older. If you get these, what they call gut feelings, go with them. Go with the flow, right? Don't fight them, Tell me.
Sometimes you need new friends, I have to say.
Yes. Tell me, how do you stay you're obviously highly motivated. How do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field?
Well, I've set a goal to help 1 million business owners, and I help 1 million orphans as well. So I've got plenty of work to do. And I love sharing my message on stages like today, and I don't know where this collaboration will take us. I would love to have a series of these with you,
Sure.
maybe just 5 minutes each, and then really make a difference, because government, traditional school system is failing.
Absolutely.
So,
I got lucky. I left at 14, guys. I woke up. All they tried to teach me at school was sit up straight and don't smile. Right. And I thought,
and,
I like smiling and I like
and
slouching.
ask for permission, like
Yeah.
that.
They were trying to teach me algebra and I'm questioning it all. X over Y times Z equals. I think, why don't you tell me what 2 and 2 make? I want to make some money. What's 2 plus 2? You know. I want to learn about health. I want to learn how to make money, run a business. I want to learn about exercise. What's good for me? What's not good for me? I don't want to learn about bloody algebra or who signed the Magna Carta in 1888. I don't care.
I say they are training for obedience, setting people
Absolutely.
up.
You got it in one. You got it in one. It's a form of brainwashing, really. And you think about this, guys. I left at 14, and true story. I was a millionaire by the time I was 21. My very good friends, I had some very wonderful friends. They were all still going to uni until they were about 23, and they came out with the flat hat, threw the hat up in the air. Oh, I've graduated. Guess what? There were 400 engineers that year, but there were only 15 jobs. So the other 380 odd, they went off to McDonald's and flipped burgers, met a waitress, bought a car, bought a house, and for 30 more years they were bloody unhappy. And they never got to use the engineering degree after all. So that's a story for a lot of people, folks. You've got to go with what you go with your gut, and make your own way in life. Just because your dad voted Liberal doesn't mean you can't vote Labor, for example, or be like me. I don't like Dumb and Dumber. I don't vote for either, and I'm not necessarily proud of that, but that's me. I don't vote, right? Because if I don't like something, I don't put my hand up for it. Simple. Tell me, what advice would you give someone young and expiring and full of brimstone? What advice would you give them to set out on their mission in life?
I say, do not wait and do not go into repeat mode, what most people do, because when I get the calls that, hey, what would it take for me to change my psychology, how I feel about myself, people are usually in midlife crisis.
Yes.
So
early, some cases, their whole life sometimes.
So yes, if you feel and do not suppress the feelings, then take a notepad and maybe get clear about what is going on in my head. Where are these limitations coming from? And all you need then is just the right tool or the right person. We have specialists for everything.
Absolutely.
Like, don't go to your dentist if you have a problem with your shoes. Okay? Yeah. Don't ask your best friends, mom, dad, They may not be able to tell you how you run a business. Maybe you want to talk to Jeff if you want to run a business, who has been successful, right? And if it's the mindset, because these are the two things you need. You need wonderful strategies that work, Jeff. And yes, you will, maybe if you need a few beliefs shifted and changed.
That's right.
That could be. And these are the keys to new results. Don't complicate it, please.
Keep it simple. That's a good one. Keep it simple, right? That's a very good one. Tell me, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future?
Well, I see myself traveling around as I did before. Nothing changes, and I have this wonderful tagline: changing minds, changing lives. That has come to me as the Doctor of Self-Worth brand. So this is my playground. I'm having a podcast. I'm looking at stages, university stages in the US, probably from this year or next year. And I want to change their minds early on. So they are not going through decades of struggle and pain and wondering where are those dreams or where are the lives that they wanted in the first place. Because most people realize that, I must have been living in someone else's life.
Yeah.
This is...
you've got to save yourself, right? The government's not going to save you. Your friends are not going to save you. Guys, it's meant to be, it's up to me. You've got to save yourself, one step at a time. And readers are leaders. Look for knowledge. Reach out to experts. Chat to people like our friend here. Chat to me. I mean, guys, we're available. Virtual cup of coffee costs you nothing, right? Nothing to sell. If you want to buy what we do, wonderful. If you don't, also wonderful. We're happy to network with you and have a chat and find out what we can do to help each other. You know, I spoke to a gentleman today. I went to the podcast earlier, and I took a page of notes. I should have paid him. He gave me all these wonderful sayings. One of them was, you'll love this one, I love to surprise and delight people. I thought that was lovely. You know, in other words, he wants to give value. You know, it's fantastic. I loved his story. Tell me, how can people watching this today and or listening, how can they reach out and find out more about your wonderful work?
The easiest way is just look at my website, doctorofselfworth.com. That's DOCTOR.
Pretty simple, man. I love that. Yeah, I love it. And guys, you can have some self-worth about yourself. Yeah.
There's a free tab. You can grab any of those wonderful short books that you can apply straight away. Right. And I realized today, guys, that Jeff has a Facebook group, and I want to be a member, and I hope I'll find a way. But this is what we're talking about here, that you need a new, let's say, group or
community
network to be in. But always choose the ones where they live the life that you want, right?
Yeah, that's right. You find your tribe. Yeah, I say, you know, you might not be into racing cars or racing bikes or rock and roll music, but find what you're into and you'll find your own tribe, right? You'll find your mark. And if people try to pull you down, let them go. You have, guys, think about it. You haven't got the same schoolboy friends that you had 30, 40 years ago. Life changes. Like a tree, you lose your leaves and they grow again next season, right? But the key to it all is keep moving. Keep moving. Move every day, you know. Go out, enjoy life. Life's meant to be fun. Right, and with ChatGPT today, there's some amazing adventures by just get involved with ChatGPT, guys. It's bloody an awesome. You know, I'm a 77-year-old man, and I'm embracing it. It chops and changes every day, and I'm learning. You know, it's fantastic. I've got to tell you a quick one, guys, for all those watching this show. I did a recent blood test, and it went through all the different things. And my doctor said, "Oh, your kidney's okay, your liver's okay, right? Yeah, Jeff, you're doing good for your age." And a little brainstorm come into me. A couple of weeks later, I said, I'm going to put this through ChatGPT. I said, analyze this. And about number 9, it said, you should be 100 and you are 900. Whoa. And the doctor never told me, because I'm in an office all the time and working 16 hours a day, what it was lack of vitamin D. So I put it down to the fact I was super tired. I put it down to the fact I'm 77. It wasn't that at all. It was a lack of vitamin D. It was sapping all my energy. Plus, brittle bones. Guess what, guys? I fell over on the weekend, broke my shoulder. And there came the second part, the brittle bones. So, guys, you know, learn, you know. What's the best way for people to reach out and chat? You up for a chat anytime? They can reach you for a cup of coffee and have a chat to you?
Yes, there's a button on my webpage. Book a small chat.
Yeah, lovely.
So there's a few versions of those sessions, and then I'll see how I can support you or not. I will tell you. Maybe I'll refer you to someone else because
correct. I spoke to a gentleman the other day who's helping all the veterans. Think of all those people, guys. They're in the army for 20 years. They come back having served their country. No one wants to know them. Oh, you're only a bloody soldier. They come back. They're not in the army anymore. They haven't got all their buddies anymore. They're out there on their own. And apparently, there's a huge amount daily throughout the States committing suicide because of the mindset. You know? Because
of trauma that they have.
Absolutely. No one wants to know them. You know, people look down on them, you know, but instead of, you know, the heroes that they were. You know, they just did their job. That's all they did. It's not their fault they had to go. They just go and do what they got to do. Anyway, it's been awesome. Tell us, before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
Well, I love to share the fact that I'm a paragliding pilot, and people think we jump off cliffs. Well, that's not the case. Please do your research.
Right.
Once the glider is up in the air, it starts to fly and lift us off.
Wow. Yeah. You're pretty brave, though. How did you go with your first time?
Well, I had a few accidents, as you can guess, because anything that you learn is learning the mistakes are the biggest
Yeah,
teachers,
I
I
don't,
believe, and
I don't, I don't
some
want to be, I
failure.
don't want to be go jumping off the Grand. Do not jump off the Grand Canyon for your first flight, guys. That's my advice.
No, find something easy and safe. And I think when you choose a mentor or coach, basically that's what you sign up for. So you don't get into
Absolutely.
the big painful falls when your life is gone in the
Yes.
ditch. You
Yeah.
now have it to do those tiny steps that you may have been afraid of taking. They will expand your comfort zone,
Yeah.
and don't sit in lukewarm water, because you will attract more and more of the same people around you, and
That's
that's
right.
a warning
100%.
sign.
Yeah. It's been awesome. You're doing a wonderful job, my friend. So I'm going to wrap this up now. So, guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, um, please come on the show. Every man's got a story, and we'd love to hear your story. And and it's trials and tribulations, guys. I don't know anyone I've ever met in my life who got it easy. Even the boys with a silver spoon in their mouth, they go through problems as well, thinking they're not good enough, etc., etc. Or they get it too easy, and when things get tough, they got no idea what to do. So it's a different adventure for all of us. So once again, thanks for being on the show today, my friend. Appreciate it very much.